we get scattered, shattered, we will stand nowhere. It looks very beautiful when you look at it like this. But when it's shattered, what happens? You have to clean it up, you have to throw it in the dust. Okay? So when we don't maintain our boundaries, we feel out of control. Like when someone tells us the thing we don't like, we just feel out of control, we scream, we yell. Okay? We feel overpowered, like we feel buried, like we are nowhere in the air. And we don't stand as an identity as well to anyone. We feel scattered as well. So can you see the picture right there? There's a mouse inside that. It's safe and secure, right? If it comes out, again I'm relating everything to boundaries. If it comes out, what will happen? Again. So boundaries keeps us safe and sane. We can set clear expectations of what we want and what the other person expects from us. It's a sense of competence when you know what's expected from you and what the other person is actually expecting. So it must be communicated. Unless and until it's communicated, you can never maintain a boundary. So we'll talk about workplace boundaries, then we'll move on to professional boundaries, then later on we'll go ahead with the code of ethics, where we have two code of ethics, that is personal code of ethics and workplace or professional code of ethics. So work is an important part of who we are. Is it so? Where do we exactly develop our identity? We develop it at home or at the workplace? Workplace. Why not exactly say that?
Workplace, because at home we play multiple roles. We are a daughter, we are a wife, we are a sister, we are a mother. But in our workplace we have, like I am Vijay Lakshmi, and in my workplace I am Vijay Lakshmi. I am the teacher that I am. And I am supposed to be delegating my duties as is expected also. My identity is here. I am known by my identity in my workplace.
Exactly. So at home we are only within those four walls. And our neighbors may know us, our relatives may know us, our friends. A small circle of friends may be knowing us. But at work, we are an identity human being all over the world maybe. We may be famous all over the world, right? Because we have a set of staff, beautiful staffs over here. And few of you may move on, maybe elsewhere, migrate elsewhere, where you carry the team of your friend's name all over the world, like anywhere you may go. Another person may also know the same individual and will say, oh, that person was great. You know that person, okay. She was my classmate or she was my colleague. Okay, so you carry your identity not only in the particular environment, but it takes you all over the country, all over the world. So you should be careful in how you perform or how you carry yourself in a workplace or in a workplace environment. So success and happiness can be achieved in life only when you have a good company of friends, okay, and a balanced relationship should be between your workplace environment and your family as well. You know what I mean by balanced. Again, I talk about boundaries. It should be balanced. You should not get over-involved into the situation or into other person's matters, or you should not just go aloof. It should be balanced between both. So workplace boundaries helps us build that sense of purpose by eliminating distractions. We know we all get distractors, we all get distractions almost every day. We wake up with a good mood, but when we come to work, maybe someone spoils us. Maybe a friend who had conflicts a couple of days ago, when they come, next day they just, when you just say hi, they just go up, they turn their face and go. So that disturbs you. Am I right? So you should avoid all those distractions. It's not necessary to satisfy each and every person at work. You should carry on doing your own duties which is assigned to you. So the things to remember about workplace boundaries are, the workplace alone does not define who we are. As I already told, no one should be defined solely by the work they do. And a strong boundary between job and self is essential. It's very essential because we ourselves, we hold an identity ourselves, and we show that identity situation by only carrying ourselves in the workplace. Like, we are recognized by the name, by our professionalism, and only that professionalism is identified only when we know how to carry that professionalism ourselves. Like, teachers stand as a role model to students, right? So what do you think on seeing this video? The clipping picture. So supervisory relationships are different than co-worker relationship. So words and action should be more formal. Like, if you don't like a person telling you something, you can be in a formal way telling that person that you don't like, instead of screaming or yelling, or you get lost, you're just stupid, or you're an idiot, you're dumb, I don't know why you work here. Okay? So words and actions should be more formal. Yelling or convincing attitude should not be tolerated on either side. Either official or your employer or your employee. So everyone at work does not have to like us, as I already told you. We are here to work, we are here to do our work ourselves. And we are not here to satisfy our friends and to develop friendship, which is not going to be useful. So in any relationship, mutual trust and respect is most important. A workplace boundary that establishes a minimum trust will help you overcome your personality. You will be identified by the personality and the way you behave. So some points to remember is, at work the primary goal is to complete your work, as I already told. So personal relationships should not interfere with the workplace interactions. As long you can develop personal relationships, but as long as it does not disturb your behaviors at work. So let's see what is professional boundaries. So the same thing I'll be overlapping on the same. Maybe defined by employer, and professional boundaries separate us from what behaviors are helpful and what behaviors aren't. So professional boundaries create a helpful zone. And if we are going to go out of the helpful zone, definitely we are going to be into trouble. So few guidances are there to maintain a professional boundary. And the first one is avoid caring for family, friends, and people with whom you do business. Okay? Like, she's my relative, she's my caste, she's my relative, she's my neighbor. Okay? And you can avoid all those things. When it comes to work or a workplace situation, it's definitely very reasonable and meaningful to avoid all those relationships because it may develop into something else. Do not use offensive languages. Do not make sexual comments or jokes. Use touch correctly. Do not accept gifts, loan, money, or other valuables from your co-workers. Maintain a professional relationship at all times, not only once, at all times. Do not visit or spend extra time with a person that is not a part of your assignment. And do not share personal or financial information with a person. You can always blame your boss. Code of ethics. As I told you, we all have a code of ethics. Do we? So, can anybody tell me, if I'm not disturbing you all, can anyone tell me, anyone, like, what is your code of ethics? Anyone? We all have a code of ethics, right? Yes.
Honesty.
Very good,
The way you contact person.
Yeah. Thank you.
The intensity of mind when you are working, even when you are supervised, delivering to your best ability, not because you're being supervised, you're giving it. And when you're not looked at, you're not delivering. You are supposed to be true to yourself, to your profession, because you're earning a bread from it.
So you have it with you. Truthfulness?
Yes.
Yeah,
That reflects on your value system.
exactly. What values we have, definitely we implement it and we reflect all those things on workplace.
And it should not happen. We close our eyes and assume nobody's watching us.
Yeah, definitely. So your code of ethics defines your boundaries. As I told you, there are two types of code of ethics. One is professional and one is personal. So everyone has a personal code of ethics. We do have, like, I don't tell lies. I don't cheat others. There are few code of. I always try 99% to speak the truth. Okay. So everyone should have a professional code of ethics as well. Many organizations have their own code of ethics. And as Sir was telling the other day, our parents have given us the priceless gift. And Sir said, it's character. It also comes under the code of ethics. Like what is right, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Yeah. So, what are personal code of ethics? So everyone has one. You may not be aware of it. We all have a personal code of ethics. But when it actually reflects is when your friend or when your colleague say, you are not the one you are. You are entirely different. Why have you changed so much? I didn't see you the one. You're not the one I've seen in college, or you're not the one I've seen 3 years ago. Okay? So we are not aware of it always. We tend to forget about it. So it's informal. Our personal code of ethics are informal. And it's not written. We do not write. If we write, we'll be perfect. We'll be perfectionists. So it's pieced together from many sources, religions, upbringings. As Sir said, the most priceless gift given by our parents is character, the same. So it shows our cultural background, the place we come from. And yeah, the examples are like not stealing, not telling lies, being willing to sacrifice for others, being willing to sacrifice for your family. So next, professional code of ethics.